I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a fantastic weekend with my family. I actually went to my sister's house yesterday, just for like the kids, because my niece, she has two girls, which are my nieces, and my kids. We got them together. We had some pizza. My dad went over there. We watched football all day while the kids played, and it was a lot of fun. My sister lives about like 25 minutes away from us, so it's not far. And they have a great, they have like huge playroom, bunch of toys and everything. It was a good time. But the whole weekend was fantastic. It was very relaxing. We did fall back an hour, and I'm sure many of you know, if you have kids, the time change, your kids stay on the same schedule. So, our kids were up 5:30 the past 2 days, and that can, wear you out a little bit, because you see all these people posting on like social media that like, we're looking forward to an extra hour because we're falling back. And it's like, parents, if you have young kids, you're not getting an extra hour sleep. You're still getting up the same time, if not an hour early. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about the question and answer video. I have some questions here that I'm probably going to talk a lot, because they're good questions, but I feel, I talk a lot. So some of these questions I might talk for a long time. So I'm probably going to only get through maybe 5 or 6 questions, and then hold off on some other ones for, the next Q&A video, which will probably be either the end of the week or Thursday. Friday's Veterans Day, by the way, so mark your calendars. And tomorrow's the election. I don't know how many of you are political, but make sure you vote. Okay, so the first question is it unheard of to have leg aches 2 months after quitting opiates? Now, the thing is how often are the leg aches happening? Now, obviously I want to make this very clear. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not giving medical advice. This is just my opinion, that if I was you, how I would look at this situation. And from, thousands of people's stories I've heard. Leg aches. Now, leg aches can happen for a variety of different reasons. Now, if you are suffering from a bout of post-acute withdrawal syndrome, which isn't very normal, okay? I know you guys probably see it all the time on videos on YouTube, or you read about it on the internet constantly about pause symptoms and am I going to get pause. It's very rare for people to get pause, okay? It's one of those things that's blown out of proportion, I think, to an extreme degree, and everyone expects it to happen, so they start to plan for it, and they think every ache that they have, or if they get the sniffles or anything, they attribute it to post-acute withdrawal syndrome. So really it's about frequency. How often are you having leg aches? Is it constant? And if it's constant 2 months after, you should go to a doctor, because there's probably a good chance there's something else going on. Now, the reason that leg aches terrify me, because I had issues, medical issues, dealing with a leg ache. Now, I had leg aches in my left calf, felt like cramping, soreness. And at the time, I was doing marine construction. I'm on a barge. I'm lifting pilings. Sometimes I'm moving big pieces of wood. Things are falling. You get cuts and bruises all over you. It's just the nature of the job. And, you fall down sometimes. You slip on slippery substances, creosotes, all kinds of stuff. And I couldn't remember if I fell on my leg. I couldn't remember if I had something knock into my calf. And the pain started getting worse and worse. And turns out, I let it go. Maybe it's just I pulled a muscle, something hit it, and my leg actually swelled up, inflamed, and then it went down. And what happens was I had an actual blood clot in there. It traveled. So anytime you have pain that is going on for a long period of time, it's always best to, just get it checked out by a doctor. Okay? If this is like going on constantly, and it's not something that just comes into play every once in a while. If this is a constant pain that you've had, I would get it checked out. You want to make sure that it's not something very serious. Now, there are some things you can do to your nutrition. You can up your potassium. You can keep hydrated, make sure that your urine's clear, make sure your body's getting nutrients that it needs, so everything's working out well. But definitely, if it's constant and it's really painful and it's something that's really causing you concern, I would talk to a doctor about it. Excuse me. Second question. Now this is a tough question because I'll just read it. So, would it be a good idea to get law enforcement involved if you know who the dealers are in your area? Now, this is my personal opinion about this. I personally do not get involved with any illegal activity that's going on. Getting yourself involved with these types of things can be dangerous. All right. The thing about the underground, the black market, drug dealers, the drugs on the street, they're always going to be there. Okay. The way that our system is hooked up, you get people locked up. They think they take drugs off the street. Some other guy's going to come in right underneath them and start doing the same thing. The only way you know for sure is if a drug bust makes a big deal is if prices start going up, because that means that demand's high and there's not enough product on the street. If you see all these giant drug busts going on, they're like, oh, we took out $10 million worth of heroin off the street, but the sale price is still the same on the street. It hasn't touched anything. All right. So my main concern is when you get involved with taking drug dealers out and saying who's doing what, is it going to be dangerous for you and your family? Are they going to ask you to testify in court? There's been many instances in my area where certain gangs are involved. People who are chosen to testify on certain things, their house gets shot up. Family members are getting shot at. I mean, crazy stuff. So you really, I'm all about taking drugs away and not having people get hurt and so on and so forth. But I do believe, honestly, that people have made the choice to do this. Whatever substances they're putting in their body, they're choosing to do so. As long as there's a demand for it, there's going to be a supply. You can take out these drug dealers, but somebody else is going to come in right underneath them. And putting yourself and your family in danger it's a choice that I personally don't want to get involved in. You can do whatever you want. This is my personal opinion. I do not get involved in it. I have cop friends. I have friends at the gym that I talk with that are cops. I know how bad it is out there. They're constantly busy. But the reason they're constantly busy is because there's such a high demand. And as long as there's a high demand, there's going to be supply everywhere. So that's my answer. That's my personal opinion on that. I don't get involved. I try to do my part where I think I am effective. I don't think I would be effective in that other area. Okay. Is it normal to have extreme happiness followed by extreme sadness? Now, this is attributed to, brain chemical fluctuation, especially early on in recovery. Many people will have extreme mood swings. I went through it. I remember them being very, it was nerve-wracking because you would feel like you got to a point where, you have steady happiness for like 4 or 5 hours of the day. And then, you set up your day because you're feeling good and you get to whatever you're doing and then you feel like shit for like the next 3 hours. And that is something, you can't be fearful of that happening because if you think about it too much, you probably will actually create it. But just know that it is normal. I mean, the fluctuations are normal. Feeling good for a certain amount of time and then feeling like crap. Having extreme highs where you feel like you could take on the world. You're ready to, write a full journal of your whole story, and 20 minutes into it, you just lose all motivation to do it. It's all completely normal. The only thing that helps that is your nutrition, feeding your body what it needs, resting, exercise, and just give your body what it needs and time. Okay? Time will help out. Eventually, things will level out, and you won't have the mood swings. If you do still have mood swings, like after 3 or 4 months, you can talk to your doctor about that. Okay, this is a good one. Do I feel that inpatient rehab is necessary to get clean? I am a firm believer that if you have the option to go to inpatient rehab, take it. The reason I believe it's so much greater than everything else is that if you are willing to get help and you're willing to go to an inpatient and you have the ability to go and take time off, it allows you to take a break from life. You get to walk away from your life. You get to go into a place where they have professionals and you're concentrating fully on bettering yourself in a safe environment, surrounded by people who are going through the same thing as you. And I don't think there's anything that can compete with that. Granted, not everybody can do it. Do I think it's the only way possible? Absolutely not. Do I think it's the best way? 100%. And it's the thing that drives me crazy about the United States is it's so hard to get into inpatient because it's just so damn expensive. Insurance in general is expensive. I pay close to $2,000 a month for my family's insurance, and it doesn't even really help. I'm on a medication called Xarelto it's a blunt thinning medication, and I mean that medication for a 90-day supply is $1,200 if you don't have insurance. With insurance, it's still for a 90-day supply. With the money I'm spending, it still costs close to $500 for a 90-day supply, which is insane. I mean, I was flipping out when I found that out. And nobody makes enough money to be able to afford insurance. Now you add in the fact that, insurance or rehab can be $30,000, $50,000. Most of us, we don't have anything. When I was going through all of it, I mean, I was more than $50,000 in debt. I had no means whatsoever to get into anything. So I had to go to a free treatment center, which I talk about all the time, the Salvation Army. It's a work program. You work for them. You get a bed. You get 3 square meals, and you get help. So I am a firm believer that inpatient is the best way. It's not a reality for everyone, especially in this day and age because of how tight money is. And we have to be there for our families to work. It's a very hard thing to leave your family for 30 days or longer unless you're younger and you're able to do it. But that is the number one choice in my opinion. It's just not a reality for most people. This is a good one. Do I trust doctors? Because a lot of people lose trust in doctors because they feel like they were, misinformed when they were prescribed painkillers or whatever. I trust doctors 100%. The reason I do is that they are going off of knowledge. Most of them. I mean, there's a small amount of doctors that make all doctors, for some people, look bad. But you have to understand, doctors go to school. They're taught what they're taught. There's a very small amount of time that's taught about dependency and addiction. That's all. You can find that anywhere. But the thing that I try to tell everybody is that the doctor is going to prescribe you from the ailments that you have. They're going to give you a medication because that's the way America has the medical world working in our country. People have an ailment, they want a medication. If you go to a doctor, they don't give you anything, you feel like you paid money for nothing. And doctors are running a business. They have ratings online. If they have patients that go in and don't get what they want, they get a bad rating, it affects their practice. People don't come, they don't make money. So you have to look at it as they're taking the oath to take care of you, and they're going to follow the guidelines of medications that fit your ailment. All right? It is up to us as the patient to understand what is being prescribed to us and researching ourselves what it is we're putting in our body. If we think it's the right move, you can talk to your doctor about it. But I trust my doctor 100%. I talk to my doctor very openly about my issue, and he explained my factor 5 to me 100%. He talked about other medications I could possibly go on, and if I come off I could die, all kinds of stuff. So they're extremely knowledgeable. They go to school for a long time for a reason. 99.999% of doctors go into it because they want to help people and make money. Okay? But they take an oath to help you. They enjoy helping people. They make you feel good. So I trust doctors, and I believe most people should too. But before you put any medication in your body, do some research on it. They give you the pamphlets. The pamphlets are advertisements. They're filled with what they want you to know. Okay, but you can do your own research and find out other aspects of medication before you start taking it. So don't just blindly put anything in your body. And where am I at? I'm at 15 now. All right, I'll answer one last question with a couple questions, which is fun. Do I know what recovery fam is? Yes. Nick M and Aaron Olson started recovery fam I guess about a month ago. It's like hashtag recovery fam. And I'm really proud of these guys because they're working together to do something or trying to help people. And I back them 2,000 million %. The more people that go on and do what they're doing right now, the better we're all going to be. Because you need as many different people from different aspects of life and different things. We're all different. So you need different people talking about the same problems, but in different ways. Okay? So I 100% know who Recovery Fam is, and I'm proud of both of you guys. And I hope you guys keep going and blow it up and get it as big as you possibly can. And Nick asked me what my goals are, and my goal in life is to be a good father and husband and help as many people as I can. And my second main goal is to open free treatment centers in the United States. I have a plan. I have a blueprint. I'm working on it right now. A bunch of things I have going on right now are helping to make that a reality. Will it be 5, 10 years? Who knows? But I will make it happen. I will get free treatment centers running. And if I don't before I die, I will not be happy. Okay? So I'm a very driven person. I will make it happen. So that's my main goal. If you want to share your story, you can email me at ryan@compsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. If you want to ask questions, you can email me at ryan@compsupport.com. In the subject line, put Q&A, questions, question and answer video. List your questions there. And if you want to leave some advice on your own aspects of these questions, do so. Check out some more videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.